Hi, my name's Colin. Welcome to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, let's get started. Okay, welcome back to How to Paint Watercolours with me, Colin. I thought I'd set off with something quite simple. I've just stretched the paper. I've put a coat of fresh water on the front page, and I'm just going to put a dry spot in that I'm going to need later on. And into that, this is a very weak wash of raw sienna. And if you don't like painting on your own, grab a friend and paint one together. We have some cad yellow light with just a touch of raw sienna down to the horizon line. Add a little bit more in there. It will dry lighter being as there a fair amount of water on the paper, because this is a mixture, very weak mixture of cobalt blue and burnt sienna, which makes a very light grey. I'm just going to paint a graded wash really on that. Just bring it down very lightly. Just touch the raw sienna, and I'm going to leave that to dry. Just take out the light patch again. Now that the paper's dried off somewhat, we can just take the same cadmium yellow with a touch of raw sienna in it, just to take the glare out of it. And the best way to emphasize your point of interest is to add a bright colour that surrounds it, maybe all the way up to there I think. And with a damp brush, because you don't want any hard edges, you soften off the edge into your buildings. Now then, this is the same colour as the yellow, which is just had the cobalt blue added to it, which makes it quite a greeny colour. We will be glazing over this, and same over here. And then into the centre of this I'm just going to add some weak raw sienna once again, dropping some green in, strengthen it up the front, possibly on the sides here, run a bit up into the bushes, feather it out with a damp brush. We'll have to leave that to dry. Then with the same sky colour, once that's dried, this is a very old detailed sable brush, the same mixture of cobalt blue and the burnt sienna. We will very lightly just indicate some trees, just scrumble the brush round, give it a hit and miss. These are going to be very, very pale, very pale. Too much on the brush. Just removing some of the excess paint. And with a slightly stronger mix of the sky colour, cobalt blue and burnt sienna. We're just going to paint the kind of middle ground trees in, just tap them on. Don't want these too strong. It's all about tone. Drop a little bit of darker colour in, and then you can add the trunks and branches in. Just add the hedgerow in. Just for more interest. And we can leave that to dry as well. Once the trees are dry, we can bring the attention to the roof of the farm buildings. And this is the same mixture as the sky, sorry, the trees. Cobalt blue, burnt sienna. And we'll just put the roof in. Roof here. Just going to drop some light red in. This is a 2-inch flat brush. All the way across, turn the brush over, all the way across, reload the brush, catching the bottom trail, all the way across, stop it at the trees, you don't want them to run. Just a little bit there. Now that, right this moment in time, is too wet, and I think you can see that on the camera. Let's make sure I've not missed any bits. And with letting the paper dry out fully, when you put the water on, it does not disturb the paint underneath too much. If you did not wait for that to dry out and you attempted to do this, you would have a real mess. Just going to take the edge off so no hard edges can form. Now we have to let that dry off. As you can see, I think you can see the shine on the paper, and I'll show you what it will look like once it's at the right stage to apply more paint. Okay, I've waited about 10 minutes there, 15, depends how much water you've got on it. Only practice will help you with this one. Now with a stronger mixture of the sky colour, which is a cobalt blue, and burnt sienna, I'm just going to test it, kind of like that. This is a squirrel brush, and I'm going to take it up to the edge. Slightly down the sides. Okay, let's bring it down. In an arc, and the paint will slowly get lighter as it comes down. Take your brush, just clean it in some clean water and dry it on a rag so it's only just damp. And start at the edges, splay it out a little bit like that. Start at the edges and just gently bring it down, just like spring rain, keeping an eye on it. Bring that. Just on the edges, pull it. If you feel it needs strengthening up anywhere, I want this to run a little bit on this side down here, just to add a bit more impact, dark on the corner. This will help pull your eye into the picture. Need this to come further down on this side a little bit. Start at the edge again, just very gently. Bring some paint in streaks into the damp paper. Don't mess with it for too long. Tending to fiddle now. Okay, that's it. Or I'm going to try it with a hairdryer. Once again, back to the weak sky colour of cobalt blue and burnt sienna. Take the excess paint off it, and I'm just going to run a very weak edge on this path, both sides, just to help separate it from the path. Just want to fade the back edge off. You will barely see this, but it will just add a little transition. From the fields to the path. Very, very light green on the brush. I think you might be able to see I'm taking it out of the palette and I'm just spreading the hairs. And on the right hand side of the tree I'm just going to put in some bright parts of the foliage. Some on the top there. Then with the sky colour mix again, which was the weak one, which was originally put on there first. It's the same thing again. Make sure the hairs are spread on the brush. So I just might now change it to the stronger one. Actually, I think for this, we're just going to put the underside in. Some on this side. Bring this hedgerow in. And then with an even darker tone, thicker mixture, we're going to add some real darks into it. Of course, not making it too dark, it has to stay within a colour range of the rest of the painting under the bushes. I'll drop a little light red and French ultramarine in, sorry, cobalt blue. Light red and cobalt blue. Just very gently soften it into the grass, the leaves, and I'm just going to pull the trunks and branches in. This one's a double tree. This is French ultramarine and burnt umber. I think we'll just drop a little fence in there first, otherwise I will forget it. Pull some branches out. Just to change it up a bit. I'm just dropping some of this cobalt blue and burnt umber mixture in, just to give it a little bit of variety. Slightly lighter than the roof, but just adds a little bit of dark. Same to this one. Do the same to all three. And whilst the paint is just damp here, just scratching some twigs with a palette knife. Red to the doors at the bottom in this house, but I just want to soften the bottoms off. Twigs in here, just to help bring this all together. re-wet the whole of the path. And now with a real watercolour of cobalt blue and light red, I'm just going to add just a few drops into the path, stronger as we come to the front. You think it needs strengthening up. Soften all the edges in, cobalt blue and the burnt sienna again. Couple of fence posts here. Don't make them all the same size and like soldiers. Make some crookedy ones. Put the wire in. Don't make it a solid line, break it up. Well, it's just dried off slightly. What I want to do is just put some pebbles and stones in this path here, just to add some interest. This is the lightest colour of the sky mixture, cobalt blue and burnt sienna, and I'm just glazing over the fields. Some clean water onto that one actually, and just soften the edges. Looks like I've mislaid my scroll hairbrush. Sorry, paint brush, so we will have to use this one. Once again, straight over the path. Soften the edges. This package. Soften the edge on the path. Time with a darker mix of the green. I'm just going to drop this just by the fence posts. Pull this into the fields, and taking my detail brush, just going to pull a few grasses out just along here. Once the first layer of glaze is dry, move on to the second layer, which is the cobalt blue again with burnt sienna, but this is a slightly darker mix. And I want this to break slightly. Bring it into this corner, darken this. A touch more here. And this helps to concentrate the light onto your farmhouse. Streaks, just strengthen it up with one or two streaks. Along the bottom here. Once again with a damp brush, just soften the back edge off. Yeah, I think around about here. Okay, that's a finished painting. You've signed it. All you need to do is put a mount around it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and please leave a comment. Thank you very much for watching.